Hi, and welcome to another We Happy Few Mechanics 101. This one's called Crafting Every Item Counts. Really, this is our approach to a crafting system for We Happy Few, and hopefully it'll give you the information you're all looking for. We actually got this message from one of our backers on our Kickstarter page. Post a video showing some of the craftable items or maybe some of the artwork for our weapons. Crafting was discussed in one of your videos, but was never wound up crafting or using anything. So we're going to do that now, and thank you, Silent Scream, for that. So right here, I'm in the editor in our current build, and I run over here and I start picking up some items. What we're going to show you right off the bat here, these are the basic craftables. These are the things that don't actually require you to have a crafting table. These are the things that you can kind of craft in the wild. When you're running around, you can combine items together. The basic principle of the way we're handling our crafting is if there's anything that you could physically do with your hands, it should be a basic crafting recipe. If there's anything that would require a soldering iron or maybe some beakers and some sort of distiller, like water distiller or something like that, well, those go to crafting tables because you don't carry those around on you. But taking a bunch of leaves like we have here, grinding them up, and turning them into the healing balm that a lot of people you've probably seen streaming the game or even us, we use right out of the gate because this is a common resource that's found within the wastes. So that's a prime example of how crafting right there works on a simple form, taking one item, grinding it down, putting it into another item. This one here, what we're doing is we're picking up a couple of ingredients, a little bit more complicated, but again, basic. You can take this bottle of alcohol, a rag, and adhesive, combine those together, and then you'll be able to make yourself a bandage. Bandages stop bleeding, which is a status effect that can happen if you get critically wounded by one of our AIs, or if you jump out of a window and, you know, like hurt yourself or something like that. We pick up some charcoal here, which this is a perfect example of a 1-to-1 ratio. We take the charcoal and you can actually grind down a single charcoal into a single black powder. Black powder is used in other crafting recipes, and this is where we start to look at how we've scoped our ingredients in the game. We only have, I'm trying to think of how many there are, but we have reduced them significantly since we initially started adding items into the game. This was because we wanted to make sure that our items, we have nothing that's useless in the game. Everything that you can pick up has a purpose or has an intended purpose. So things that may not be so relevant or may not be perfectly clear, like a rotten mushroom is a good example. Remy brought that up earlier when I was discussing this video with him. A rotten mushroom will have a purpose, but maybe it's not that obvious at the beginning of the game, but you'll learn it as you progress further, and you'll understand that even certain ingredients that you dismissed as being useless to you become highly useful later. So it's something to keep a concept of where we're making sure that every item counts. That's a really critical thing. Jumping ahead here, we're going to be taking these two lead pipes and these two adhesives. So that's why it used to be duct tape. We used to have different levels of things to attach stuff together, but then we're like, let's just make it adhesive. That makes it so it's a blanket term that allows us to reduce the items and then we don't have item bloat. In this case, I'm going to show you that it is not a basic item. It is one that does require a mechanical station. So you actually have to find a mechanical station as well as the two lead pipes and two adhesives. When you find that, you can actually combine them together to get the hammer pipe. Right here, I'm demoing the lead pipe on its own. You get about 4 swings before you get winded on it. It does a decent amount of damage, certainly better than a branch for those who have seen the waste combat situations and stuff like that. It's got more durability than a branch, obviously, but more or less, it's a nice go-to weapon for early to mid-game play that for our current build, that is. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and build a hammer pipe, and it's getting constructed. Bam, done. Now you have it. I take it out of my quick slot here, my weapon holster, just to show you how big it is. It is a high-value weapon, and then whenever we put it onto our character and then pull it out, you'll notice it's a two-handed weapon as well. So within that suggestion, I wanted to show some artwork and stuff like that for the weapons or items. Well, oddly enough, for the hammer pipe, this one came up kind of organically. It wasn't intended to be so malicious, but we kind of loved the way it turned out. So in a couple seconds, it'll actually transfer over to show you that. This is just a model of it to show you this, like the full extent of what this thing is. It's just modified pipe, which turns it into somewhat of a hammer. There's other gameplay functions I've talked about doing with that internally, but we'll get into those later. Right here, you can see I'm actually gathering all the resources to make an anti-future device. This is the last video we did. We were showing what an anti-future device does in the world. And here we go, combining it all together. It'll take some time to tune what the ingredients need to be for that, but we'll get to that as we get more people playing and get to see like how often people are building them, or if they're coming across them too easy, because that was some concerns that came up on the YouTube video that we had posted previously. You could also see just back there for a second, an electro-lock shocker and an anti-future device have very similar components. This is, again, where we go, you need to choose when you want to use your ingredients in order to access stuff. I've gone here to show the glass bottle and the pumps that are in the waste that are actually in the build right now, and how you can fill them up. This is because there was a small power cell that is used to make an anti-future device. There's some conversations going on right now about having empty canisters around in the world that allow you to actually refill them with motoline, which is the blue stuff that I'm sure some of you have seen in other videos, which is what makes the power cell. Right here, you're going to see Rick the Stunt Duck. This one goes back to anyone who was in our PAX demo or saw our PAX demo. He's since been removed, so I'm not going to show you what happens with him right there, but that's kind of the zany stuff that can happen going further. It's like a rubber duck with duct tape and a toy car wheel. But all in all, I hope that helps explain some things for you, and we look forward to sharing more with you guys going further. If you have any questions, any comments, please let us know. And if there's anything else you'd like to know, we're more than happy to share. So yeah, thanks a lot. And just to remind everyone, the Kickstarter is still running. So if you haven't had a chance to pledge yet and you really want to, we'll encourage you to jump over and do that. We could really use the support. And if not, spread the word. That's going to be a huge help for right now. All right, thanks a lot, guys.